Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and this is going to be a brief little review for Sword Art Online, Episode 7. This was another great one. It's something that really excels with this series to give us a great character-driven episode, and I think we got that here once again with the character debut of Lizbeth. Now, I know from seeing on some of the Facebook fan pages that people were basically clamoring for this character to make her appearance, and it's my hope by the end of this episode that we will be seeing her again. A lot of the great things that I loved about this was that it takes elements of some of the things we've seen before with the character of Sachi having great fear of dying within this game, and basically Kirito helping this girl Elizabeth out in a similar way to how he did Silica in another episode. But it also adds in that mixture of unrequited love. You know, she is somebody, Elizabeth that is, who is in this game and she's fearful of being killed within it, but she's lonely and she wants to find somebody to connect to help her better deal with her surroundings and what's going on with all these people in the game. And we see that she's a friend of Asuna's, and basically it's, through Asuna's suggestion to Kirito to go to her friend's smithy shop that led Kirito there essentially to find a new sword. And I think it's awesome that she owns this little smithy shop, but of course Kirito promptly breaks one of her swords inadvertently when he's testing it out on his, and he's just after a stronger sword, and little does he know that his is actually pretty strong compared to most of the other swords that she has in her business. And this is where they come to a sort of impromptu compromise. Basically, Kirito realizes he needs certain elements that he can only find in certain areas of the game to make a sword strong enough or compatible enough with his own strength. And essentially, Lizbeth won't let him go alone. She's a smithy. She knows how to do that stuff. And so they head out and try to find these crystals that this dragon is known for eating at the top of this snowy mountain, which turns promptly into a misadventure because she doesn't want to stay in the shadows like Kirito told her to, and the dragon spots her once Kirito's fighting it and opens up this like big chasm in the ground, and they fall down into this hole. Kirito grabs her to try to save her, so they pretty much camp out at the bottom of this hole for a little while, sleeping in sleeping bags. And Lisbeth, this is the first time she's felt adventure in the game of a sort of positive nature. And of course she thinks Kirito's goofy when he tries to jump up the walls and run up the walls to get them out of there. And there's this really touching, poignant moment when she basically asks Kirito as they're laying on the ground, "Will you hold my hand?" And, he pauses for a second, kind of feeling embarrassed. But once he takes her hand, she's basically awakened to this whole sense of adventure, but she equates the warmth that she feels from his hand with a connection, with somebody that she can connect to. Of course, for her, it's a little more romantically based, whereas not so much for Kirito, it's more friendship based. But this is her first triumph of finding some kind of hope in the game. And I think that is a lasting hope. By the end of the episode, I think it's still with her, even though, as we see, things don't play out the way she hopes necessarily. And of course, when she wakes up, there's Kirito digging in the snow, and he finds one of the crystals that he was there for. And I love the explanation of this. I literally laughed out loud that essentially the crystal they needed was dragon poop. Yeah, okay. So they take this crystal, they manage to get out of there by basically jumping on the back of this dragon once they realize, hey, wait a minute, this is the dragon's little lair, And sure enough, they end up flying up in the sky, and I'm assuming they use teleport crystals, but they don't actually show it, before falling to their doom. And they end up back at the smithy shop where basically Elizabeth puts her magic to work and makes this stronger sword for Kirito. Now, promptly enters Asuna, and she is worried, sick, and just, hoping her friend is okay. And this is where everything turns a little awkward again, because now Elizabeth is kind of putting two and two together. Why is Asuna kind of wearing earrings and dressing up like the last time she saw her at the beginning of the episode? And she can kind of tell there's a chemistry between Asuna and Kirito, which is something I've been saying too as a viewer. But, so she just kind of leaves tearfully and tries to hide the fact that she feels heartbroken. And I was really happy that Kirito manned up and actually followed her and just tried to, kind of set her straight, but not in a way that was like evasive, Basically, he's saying, you helped me in the same way that I kind of helped you. And they ended on really good terms by the end of the episode, so I was very happy about that. And as I say, it just boosted my hope that we will see Elizabeth again, because of course, Kirito has to own up to his promise. She's going to be the Smith he comes back to. So that's definitely awesome. I love the characters in this series and how they're very memorable from out of the gate. And the animation in this episode was just fantastic. The way they animated the dragon, I kind of looked like CG to me, but of course I'm watching this on a small mobile screen, so I couldn't really tell fully. But I just thought it looked fantastic. It had the crystals all on it and then shakes it off and starts flying, and energy beams are coming from it, and wind and snow and everything. I just thought that whole sequence was really brilliant, and that's something that has been a hallmark for this series since episode 1. Just great animation. And I am told via the Facebook pages that basically the next episode is going to actually start touching back on the main storyline again. So I can't wait to see where this is all going to be going. Whether they're going to get back to the creator of the game and all of the things that are, pretty much hanging in the balance for people to survive this whole situation that they're in. And I can't wait to see how that all unfolds, who makes it, who doesn't, and how they go about reaching their goals, and whether or not there's going to be a confrontation with the game creator. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below or as a video response what you thought of the episode if you've seen it. And otherwise, that's going to be pretty much it for me on this one. I loved it. I can't wait for the next, and catch you all later. Peace.